One thing is for sure. As West Indies supporters, we are made to feel it. Everywhere we turn, Makajukwi. In other words, if you turn left, if you turn right, there's a problem. So CWI, they just released a press briefing letting us know that Jade Goolie and Akil Hosein aren't with the T20 squad. And it's as a result of visa issues. I'm going to be reading the press briefing, going to let you hear exactly what they are saying. Plus, we're going to talk a couple of keys to victory as we go into this first game. Also, please remember that we're going to be live. Yes, we're going to do a live watch along starting at 1:40 when the game gets underway. So let me know your thoughts. All right, let's get into it, my people. So here I was thinking that we're going into the game with the number 2 rank T20 bowler in the world, in Akil Hosein. We know his skills, we know how good he is, and I was looking forward to seeing him out there. Well, we can't have that. Let me just go through what's on the CWI website. So this is it. The headline says, West Indies T20 squad affected by UK visa changes. So it says, Cricket West Indies advises that 2 players, spinner Akil Hosein and young talent Jade Goolie, have experienced challenges in joining the squad for the upcoming T20 internationals against England and Ireland, which begin on Friday, which is today. They said the challenges are due to the updated UK visa entry requirements for Trinidad and Tobago citizens, which came into effect on April 23rd and May 12, 2025. They said these changes required both players to submit visa application and attend mandatory in-person appointments. And as we know, Jade Goolie got the call up late when after Aston Chase was named as test captain, and Akil Hosein, I guess he was in the PSL. So let's take a look at what Miles Bascom is saying. So this is Miles Bascom now, the director of Cricket West Indies, right? So this is him, and I quote, as soon as the updated visa requirements were announced, CWI began the necessary application process. This was only possible after Akil returned to Trinidad and following the confirmation of Jade's selection to the Ireland to the Ireland squad. So he's saying that, end quote. So he's saying that, even though they got the information, they couldn't have started the process for Akil Hosein because he wasn't on the island. And the same, Jade Goolie was named later down. He went on to say, asked who was selected for, Akil, who was selected for both the England and Ireland legs of the tour, was granted permission to fulfill his commitments with the extended Pakistan Super League until mid-May. So there we see the problem, right? Jade was called up for the Ireland series after Aston Chase was named test captain on May 16th. They said Chase was set to leave the UK to join the test camp in Barbados, creating an opening in the squad. However, Goolie was unable to secure the required visa waiver as the transition period for Trinidad and Tobago residents had already expired, right? So that is out of their hands based on what they are saying, right? But it's really tough. It's really tough because we always seem to have some sort of issues with our players going to some of these countries. I understand that they put in visa restrictions because of whatever issues or whatever problems, not getting into the political part of it. But, very rarely we hear about players coming to the Caribbean and they are not able, right? They are not able to travel. But as I said, they have their restrictions for whatever reason. So let's continue. They say CWI made formal efforts to expedite the visa process for Akil and applied for a visa waiver for Jade. However, these processes are ultimately governed by UK immigration authorities and remain outside of CWI's outside of CWI's control. CWI remains optimistic that the matter will be resolved in the coming days, allowing Hosein to join the squad for the remaining matches. In the interim, Chase will now remain with the T20 squad for the rest of the series before joining the test team, right? before joining the test team counterparts well ahead of the first test against Australia in Barbados. They say well ahead because they want us to know that even though he's staying, he's going to arrive in Barbados in time to, to get prepared for the test series, right? They say CWI thanks fans and stakeholders for their continued support and understanding as we navigate these administrative challenges and looks forward to a successful series. That is what they are saying. No, I tell you, my people, CWI, they are trying to do some gymnastic in terms of making sure that the players are okay. We're talking about granting Akil the go ahead to continue the PSL, right? The only problem is that when he came back when he came back on the island, it was too late, right? When he returned to the island, it was too late to get everything started out. So we're going into this series without him. You understand? Puran is our highest ranked T20 batsman. I think he's ranked at 18. Yes, Puran's ranked at 18, and Hosein is our number 2 ranked bowler, and we're going in without those guys. Right? Obviously, we have to just make do with what we have. But it's really sad. It's boy, I tell you. I say it at the top, my people. Everywhere we turn Makajuku, there is always something. Anyways, before we go, this game here, this first game, we definitely want to make sure we get off to a win. England is a team that, when it comes down to T20 cricket, they go hard or they go home. They go very, very hard. We see how they do things in their ODIs, and we see how they do things in Test cricket. They are going to go very hard, my people, right? So we have to be careful. And usually we would have Akil Hosein to take a wicket or two in the power play while keeping things a bit tight. He isn't there, so Shea Hope is going to have to be very, very well. Obviously, Shea Hope would have already known all of this. It's just that they're just putting it out to the media. So whatever plans he has to work his bowling, he's going to have to be very cute and creative with them, right? So I don't know what the pitch is going to be like. I don't know anything like that. But we need to make sure that we are being very, very competitive. You understand? We don't want to go out there and we're not competitive. We want to win, but we want to play very good cricket. You understand? We want to play good cricket. I have said it before. I can understand teams beating you in their home country. They have home advantage and all of that. But it's how you get beat. That's my problem. This is not me preparing myself for a defeat. This is just me saying I want to see fight right from start to the end. And I want to see sensible cricket. Sensible cricket. Right? So if we're batting first, it's very difficult to say what I want them to score because I don't know what the pitch is like. I don't really see any report or anything. You understand? But and I don't know the par score for that pitch. But generally speaking, you're going up against a team like England. You want to get close to 200, as close as possible. Right? And if you're bowling first, you want to try and get them for 175 or somewhere thereabout, and hope your team can chase it. But that is pretty much all I have, my people. Remember, we're going to be live. Hopefully everything will be everything in terms of my subscription, and I can see the game, so we can do that live watch along. Big up on yourself. Stay safe. Bless up.